Welcome to the English podcast station. Today, we have a special video for you. This video is about Bruce Lee. He was a very famous fighter. He was also a deep thinker. This video will help you learn English. We use simple words. We use short sentences. You can listen and learn. You can improve your English. So let's begin. Chapter 1. The Boy Who Would Be Dragon. Bruce Lee was born in San Francisco. This was in 1940. He was born in the year of the dragon. He was born in the hour of the dragon. His Chinese name was Li Junfan. His family moved to Hong Kong. He grew up there. He was a small boy. He was often sick. He was not very strong. Bruce was a lively child. He was full of energy. He was also a bit of a troublemaker. He got into many street fights. His parents were worried. They wanted him to learn discipline. They wanted him to be strong. This was important for his future. They decided to send him to learn martial arts. This decision changed his life. He started learning Wing Chun. This is a Chinese martial art. His teacher was Ip Man. Ip Man was a great master. Bruce learned quickly. He practiced very hard. He spent many hours training. He wanted to be the best. He loved to fight. He loved to move. He found his passion. Learning Wing Chun taught him many things. It taught him how to defend himself. It also taught him about discipline. He learned to control his body. He learned to control his mind. This was the start of his journey. He was becoming stronger. He was becoming more focused. He was not just a fighter. He was a student. He was a thinker. He trained daily. He trained intensely. He pushed his limits. He wanted to be faster. He wanted to be stronger. He wanted to be more skilled. He learned the movements. He learned the forms. He learned the philosophy behind Wing Chun. He understood that fighting was more than just punches and kicks. It was about balance. It was about timing. It was about inner peace. His street fighting days started to fade. He focused on his training. He focused on improving himself. He saw how martial arts could transform him. He realized that discipline was not just about rules. It was about self-control. It was about dedication. This was the beginning of his true path. He was no longer just a boy. He was becoming a martial artist. Chapter 2. Leaving Hong Kong, a new beginning. Bruce Lee continued to get into trouble. His parents decided something had to change. They felt he needed a new environment. They wanted him to have a better future. So, they sent him to America. This was in 1959. He was 18 years old. He arrived in San Francisco. He had little money. He had a big dream. He worked odd jobs. He saved his money. He wanted to go to college. He wanted to learn. He wanted to grow. This was a big step for him. He was far from home. He was on his own. He enrolled in Edison Technical School. This was in Seattle. He studied philosophy. He loved learning. He loved thinking. He read many books. He questioned everything. He wanted to understand life. He wanted to understand himself. This was different from fighting. It was about knowledge. While studying, he also taught martial arts. He started teaching Wing Chun. He taught in a small school. He taught to small groups. He shared his knowledge. He shared his passion. This was how he supported himself. This was how he continued his martial arts journey. He met Linda Emery in college. She was a student. They fell in love. They got married in 1964. Linda supported his dreams. She believed in him. She was his partner. She was his strength. They started a family. They had 2 children, Brandon and Shannon. Moving to America was a challenge. It was also an opportunity. He faced new cultures. He faced new ideas. He embraced them. He learned from them. He did not forget his roots. He built a new life. He built a family. He built a school. He built a legacy. He was growing as a person. He was growing as a martial artist. He was preparing for something bigger. He was laying the foundation for his future impact. Chapter 3. Developing Jeet Kune Do. The way of the intercepting fist. Bruce Lee was a student of martial arts. He studied many styles. He found that some styles were too rigid. They had too many rules. They did not adapt to real fighting. He believed martial arts should be free. It should be flexible. It should be useful in a real fight. He started to develop his own ideas. He wanted to create a new way of fighting. He called it Jeet Kune Do. This means the way of the intercepting fist. It was not a fixed style. It was a concept. It was a philosophy. It was about being like water. Being like water means being formless. Water can flow. Water can crash. Water can adapt to any container. Bruce Lee believed a fighter should be like water. A fighter should not be limited by rules. A fighter should adapt to the opponent. A fighter should be free. Jeet Kune Do was about efficiency. It was about directness. It was about simplicity. It was about using what works. It was about discarding what doesn't work. It was about self-expression. It was about finding your own way. He encouraged his students to think for themselves. He encouraged them to find their own style. He taught his students to intercept. To intercept means to stop something before it reaches you. In fighting, it means stopping an attack before it lands. This saves time. This is efficient. This is the core of Jeet Kune Do. It was a revolutionary idea. He tested his ideas. He trained rigorously. He trained with different martial artists. He learned from them. He shared his knowledge. He constantly improved Jeet Kune Do. It was a living philosophy. It was always evolving. It was a reflection of his own growth. Jeet Kune Do was more than just fighting techniques. It was a way of life. It was about discipline. It was about self-discovery. It was about freedom. It was about being true to yourself. It was a new way to think about martial arts. It was a new way to live. He wanted to share this with the world. Chapter 4. The Hollywood Dream. From Teacher to Star. Bruce Lee had a big dream. He wanted to be a movie star. He wanted to share his martial arts. He wanted to share his philosophy. He wanted to show the world what he could do. He moved to Los Angeles. This was in the mid-1960s. He started meeting people in Hollywood. He showed them his skills. He impressed many. He got a role in a TV show. It was called The Green Hornet. He played the character Kato. Kato was a chauffeur. He was also a martial arts expert. The Green Hornet made him famous. People loved Kato. They loved his fighting style. He was fast. He was strong. He was charismatic. The show was popular. Bruce Lee became a household name. But he still wanted more. He wanted bigger roles. He wanted to be the main star. However, Hollywood was not ready for him. They did not see an Asian lead actor. They offered him smaller roles. They offered him stereotypical roles. He refused them. He did not want to play a bad guy. He did not want to play a servant. He wanted to be a hero. He wanted to be respected. He faced discrimination. He faced prejudice. He did not give up. He believed in himself. He continued to train. He continued to teach. He continued to develop Jeet Kune Do. He knew his time would come. He had patience. He had perseverance. He kept his dream alive. He kept working hard. He kept knocking on doors. He kept showing his talent. He kept believing in his vision. He knew he had something special to offer. He knew he could break barriers. He was determined to succeed. This was his Hollywood dream. He would make it a reality. Chapter 5. Returning to Hong Kong, the Big Boss. Bruce Lee was frustrated with Hollywood. He was not getting the roles he wanted. He decided to go back to Hong Kong. This was in 1971. He had a new plan. He would make movies there. He would be the star. He would show his martial arts to the world. He signed a contract with Golden Harvest. This was a film studio. His first movie was The Big Boss. It was a martial arts film. He was the main actor. He also helped with the fight choreography. He put his heart into it. The Big Boss was a huge success. It broke box office records. People in Hong Kong loved it. They loved Bruce Lee. They loved his fighting. They loved his passion. He became a superstar overnight. He was finally a leading man. The movie showed his unique style. His speed was amazing. His kicks were powerful. His screams were iconic. He brought a new energy to martial arts films. He changed how fighting was shown on screen. He made it more real. He made it more exciting. He followed the big boss with another hit. It was called Fist of Fury. This movie was even more popular. It solidified his star status. He was now the biggest actor in Hong Kong. He was a cultural icon. His return to Hong Kong was a turning point. It was where he truly shined. He found his voice. He found his audience. He found his power. He showed the world his talent. He showed them his philosophy. He proved that he was a force to be reckoned with. He was a star. He was a legend in the making. Chapter 6. Enter the Dragon. International Stardom. After his success in Hong Kong, Bruce Lee caught Hollywood's attention again. This time, they wanted him. They wanted him to star in a big movie. This movie would be called Enter the Dragon. It was a co-production. It was made by an American studio and a Hong Kong studio. Enter the Dragon was released in 1973. It was a global phenomenon. It made Bruce Lee an international superstar. The movie was a huge box office hit. It was loved by audiences all over the world. It showed his martial arts to millions. In Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee played a martial artist. He goes to an island. He investigates a crime. He fights many enemies. The action was incredible. His performance was iconic. He was charismatic. He was powerful. He was unforgettable. The movie featured his Jeet Kune Do principles. His movements were fluid. His attacks were direct. He showed his philosophy on screen. He inspired countless people. He showed the beauty and power of martial arts. Enter the Dragon broke down barriers. It made an Asian lead actor a global star. It opened doors for others. It changed how Hollywood viewed Asian actors. It was a groundbreaking film. It was a cultural milestone. Sadly, Bruce Lee passed away shortly before the movie's release. He never saw its full impact, but his legacy lived on. Enter the Dragon became his most famous work. It cemented his place in history. He became a legend. His spirit lived through his art. Chapter 7. Discipline. The foundation of greatness. Bruce Lee was a master of discipline. He believed discipline was key. It was the foundation of all success. He applied discipline to everything he did. He applied it to his training. He applied it to his studies. He applied it to his life. He trained every day. He trained without fail. He pushed himself beyond limits. He exercised rigorously. He practiced his martial arts forms. He worked on his speed. He worked on his power. He worked on his technique. This consistent effort was discipline. He had a strict diet. He ate healthy food. He avoided unhealthy food. He understood that his body was a temple. It needed to be fueled properly. This was another form of discipline. He controlled his cravings. He made good choices. He also disciplined his mind. He read books. He wrote down his thoughts. He meditated. He focused on his goals. He controlled his emotions. He kept a clear mind. This mental discipline was as important as physical discipline. He believed that discipline leads to freedom. When you discipline yourself, you gain control. You control your actions. You control your habits. You control your destiny. This is true freedom. It is not about being restricted. It is about being empowered. His discipline was an inspiration. It showed what was possible. It showed that hard work pays off. It showed that dedication leads to mastery. He built his strength. He built his skills. He built his life through discipline. It was his secret weapon. It was the core of his greatness. Chapter 8. Mental Strength, the Unseen Power. Bruce Lee was incredibly strong. Not just physically, he was also mentally strong. He believed that the mind was the most powerful weapon. It controlled everything. It controlled the body. It controlled success. He trained his mind constantly. He used visualization. He imagined himself succeeding. He imagined himself winning fights. He imagined himself achieving his goals. This helped him focus. It built his confidence. He learned to control fear. He faced challenges head on. He did not let doubt stop him. He believed in his abilities. He believed in his training. He had an unwavering belief in himself. This was mental strength. He also had a strong philosophy. He read many books. He studied different ideas. He questioned things. He thought deeply about life. He understood the importance of continuous learning. This kept his mind sharp. He famously said, "Don't think, feel." This meant to trust your instincts, to react without hesitation, to be present in the moment. This required immense mental discipline. It required letting go of fear and overthinking. His mental toughness allowed him to push through pain. It allowed him to overcome obstacles. It allowed him to perform at his best. He was not just fighting opponents. He was fighting his own limitations. He was fighting his own doubts. He understood that true strength comes from within. It comes from a strong mind. It comes from a clear purpose. It comes from an indomitable spirit. His mental strength was an inspiration. It showed that the power of the mind can be limitless. It can achieve anything. Chapter 9. Cultural Impact. Bridging East and West. Bruce Lee had a huge cultural impact. He was a bridge. He connected East and West. He introduced Chinese martial arts to the world. He changed perceptions. He broke stereotypes. Before Bruce Lee, martial arts were not widely known in the West. They were seen as exotic. They were misunderstood. Bruce Lee changed that. He showed the grace. He showed the power. He showed the philosophy of martial arts. He was one of the first Asian lead actors in Hollywood. He showed that an Asian man could be a hero. He could be strong. He could be charismatic. He could be a global star. He inspired many. He opened doors for other Asian actors. His movies were popular everywhere. They brought people together. They transcended language barriers. They transcended cultural differences. Everyone could appreciate his fighting. Everyone could appreciate his message. He represented strength. He represented justice. He represented self-improvement. These are universal values. People from all backgrounds admired him. They looked up to him. He became a symbol of empowerment. He also brought a new image of Asia to the West. Not just a place of ancient traditions, but a place of modern power, a place of strength, a place of innovation. He showed the world the richness of Asian culture. Bruce Lee's impact continues today. His films are still watched. His philosophy is still studied. His influence is still felt. He changed the face of cinema. He changed the face of martial arts. He changed the face of cultural representation. He was a true global icon. Chapter 10. Training Methods. Unconventional and effective. Bruce Lee was a pioneer in training. He did not follow traditional methods. He created his own. He believed in being efficient. He believed in being effective. He trained like no one else. He was one of the first martial artists to lift weights. He believed in strength training. He knew that strong muscles made powerful strikes. He developed a strong physique. He was lean and muscular. He also did a lot of cardio. He ran. He jumped rope. He did intense circuit training. He wanted incredible stamina. He wanted to fight longer. He wanted to be faster. His endurance was legendary. He used unique equipment. He used a wooden dummy for Wing Chun practice. He used punching bags. He created his own training tools. He was always experimenting. He was always looking for new ways to improve. He focused on specific skills. He worked on his speed. He worked on his timing. He worked on his accuracy. He practiced his kicks. He practiced his punches. He practiced his traps. He drilled constantly. He also believed in cross-training. He studied different martial arts. He learned from boxing. He learned from fencing. He took what was useful from each. He combined them into his own unique style. This was part of Jeet Kune Do. His training was comprehensive. It was intense. It was smart. He understood the human body. He understood how to maximize its potential. He showed that you don't just train hard. You train smart. His training methods were revolutionary. They continue to inspire athletes and martial artists today. He pushed the boundaries of human performance. Chapter 11. The philosophy of Jeet Kune Do, beyond fighting. Jeet Kune Do was more than just a fighting style. It was a philosophy. It was a way of living. Bruce Lee believed that martial arts should reflect life. Life should be free. Life should be adaptive. The core idea of Jeet Kune Do is be like water. Water has no fixed form. It takes the shape of its container. It can be gentle. It can be powerful. It can flow. It can crash. It adapts to every situation. Bruce Lee taught his students to adapt, to be flexible, to not be stuck in rigid patterns. In fighting, this meant responding to the opponent, not following a preset plan. In life, it meant being open to change, being able to adjust. Another key principle was absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, add what is specifically your own. This applied to martial arts techniques. It also applied to ideas. It applied to beliefs. He encouraged critical thinking. He encouraged individuality. Jeet Kune Do was about self-discovery. It was about finding your own truth, not blindly following others, not being limited by tradition. It was about expressing yourself fully. It was about authentic living. He believed that fighting was a metaphor for life. You face challenges. You adapt. You overcome. You learn about yourself. The opponent is not just a person. It is also your own limitations, your own fears. Jeet Kune Do was about freedom. Freedom from limitations. Freedom from dogma. Freedom to be yourself. It was a journey of continuous improvement. It was a journey of self-mastery. Bruce Lee's philosophy extended far beyond the dojo. It was a guide for life. It was a path to liberation. Chapter 12. His Legacy in Martial Arts, a Revolution. Bruce Lee revolutionized martial arts. He changed the way people thought about fighting. He changed the way people trained. He changed the way martial arts were presented. Before Bruce Lee, many martial arts were rigid. They focused on fixed forms. They focused on traditional techniques. Bruce Lee questioned this. He believed in practicality. He believed in real-world application. He emphasized speed. He emphasized efficiency. He emphasized directness. He showed that fancy moves were not always effective. Simplicity was key. This challenged many traditional schools of thought. He also promoted cross-training. He believed in learning from different styles. He broke down the walls between different martial arts. He showed that all martial arts had something to offer. This led to a more integrated approach. He influenced mixed martial arts, MMA. His ideas about adaptability were crucial. His emphasis on striking and grappling were ahead of his time. Many modern MMA fighters consider him a pioneer. They acknowledge his influence. His legacy is seen in modern training. Athletes now combine different training methods. They focus on overall fitness. They focus on functional strength. These are principles Bruce Lee championed decades ago. He inspired millions to take up martial arts. His movies made it cool. They made it accessible. He showed that martial arts could be a path to self-improvement. It could be a way to build confidence. Bruce Lee's impact on martial arts is immeasurable. He was a visionary. He was a revolutionary. He pushed the boundaries of what was possible. He created a new path. He inspired generations of martial artists. His influence continues to shape the martial arts world. Chapter 13. His Legacy in Film, Breaking Barriers. Bruce Lee's impact on film was profound. He broke many barriers. He changed the landscape of Hollywood. He changed how Asian characters were portrayed. Before Bruce Lee, Asian actors in Hollywood were often typecast. They played villains. They played stereotypes. They rarely played heroes. They rarely had leading roles. Bruce Lee changed this. He was the first Asian actor to become a global superstar. He played strong, heroic characters. He commanded the screen. He was charismatic. He was powerful. He showed the world that an Asian actor could carry a film. His films were unique. They combined incredible martial arts with compelling stories. They were exciting. They were groundbreaking. They set a new standard for action films. He inspired a generation of filmmakers. He inspired a generation of actors. His influence can be seen in countless action movies. His fighting style became iconic. His screen presence was unmatched. He also paved the way for diversity in Hollywood. He showed that audiences wanted to see different faces. They wanted to see different stories. He opened doors for other actors of color. He showed that talent knows no race. His movies are still watched today. They're classics. They continue to entertain. They continue to inspire. They are a testament to his unique vision. They are a testament to his incredible talent. Bruce Lee's legacy in film is immense. He was not just an actor. He was a cultural force. He challenged the status quo. He broke down barriers. He created a new path. He left an indelible mark on cinematic history. He changed the face of entertainment forever. Chapter 14: His Personal Life and Struggles. The Human Side. Bruce Lee was a legendary figure, but he was also a human being. He had his own struggles. He faced challenges in his personal life. These struggles made him stronger. They made him relatable. He faced discrimination in Hollywood. He wanted leading roles. He wanted respect, but he was often overlooked because of his ethnicity. This was a difficult period. He had to be patient. He had to persevere. He also faced injuries. His rigorous training took a toll on his body. He suffered back injuries. He pushed through the pain. He continued to train. He continued to perform. His dedication was unwavering. He had a demanding schedule. He was constantly working. He was training. He was making movies. He was teaching. This put a lot of pressure on him. He managed to balance his career with his family life. He was a devoted husband and father. He was a deep thinker. He read many books. He wrote many notes. He explored philosophy. He searched for meaning. This intellectual pursuit was a big part of who he was. It was a private world he cultivated. He was also a perfectionist. He wanted everything to be just right. This drove him to excellence. But it could also be stressful. He always pushed himself to be better. He was never satisfied with good enough. His personal life was a mix of triumphs and challenges. He learned from his struggles. He grew from them. He showed that even legends face difficulties. He showed that perseverance is key. His human side makes him even more inspiring. It reminds us that greatness is achieved through effort, not just talent. He was truly extraordinary. Chapter 15: The Enduring Legacy. Why Bruce Lee Still Matters. Bruce Lee passed away too soon. He was only 32 years old, but his legacy lives on. He still matters today. His influence is still felt everywhere. His movies continue to inspire. They are action classics. They are enjoyed by new generations. They introduce his martial arts. They introduce his philosophy. His philosophy of Jeet Kune Do is still studied. People learn from his ideas. They learn about adaptability. They learn about self-expression. They learn about continuous improvement. His ideas are timeless. He remains a symbol of discipline. He remains a symbol of mental strength. He remains a symbol of perseverance. He showed what a human being can achieve. He showed the power of dedication. He broke down racial barriers. He showed that talent and hard work can overcome prejudice. He paved the way for diversity in entertainment. His impact on cultural representation is immense. His spirit of innovation continues to inspire. He was not afraid to challenge tradition. He was not afraid to create his own path. He encouraged others to do the same. He taught us to think for ourselves. Bruce Lee was more than a fighter. He was a philosopher. He was an artist. He was a visionary. He left an indelible mark on the world. He taught us to be like water, to be adaptable, to be strong, to be ourselves. His legacy is not just about martial arts. It is about living a full and meaningful life. That is why Bruce Lee still matters. And that is why his story will continue to inspire for generations to come.